Katie never expected that one embarrassing moment at school would turn her into the most talked-about student in the entire building. It started with something simple. Prom. For most seniors, prom night was the biggest social event of the year. Dresses, music, photos, and of course, the perfect date. But Katie had a problem. She didn't have one. For weeks, she tried not to think about it. She wasn't the kind of girl who obsessed over dances or popularity. Still, as prom got closer, the pressure started to grow. Everyone at school seemed to be pairing up, and there was one person Katie secretly hoped would ask her. Dan. Dan was the kind of guy everyone noticed. He was the star of the high school football team, confident, friendly, and popular with almost everyone. Katie and Dan talked sometimes at school. They joked about sports, shared a few laughs between classes, and every time they spoke, Katie felt a small spark of hope. Maybe, just maybe, he liked her too. But there was a problem. Another girl had her eye on Dan as well. For several days, Katie went back and forth in her mind, trying to decide if she should take the risk. Finally, one afternoon after school, she gathered the courage. Dan was standing at his locker, pulling books from his backpack when Katie walked up to him. They started talking like they usually did. A few jokes, a few laughs. Then there was a short pause. Katie felt her heart beating faster. Before she could lose the nerve, the words slipped out. "Hey, do you want to go to prom with me?" For a moment, Dan looked surprised. Then his expression changed. He rubbed the back of his neck awkwardly. "I'm really sorry," he said. "I'm already going with someone else." The words hit Katie harder than she expected. She forced a small smile. "Oh, that's okay," she said quickly. "No problem." Then she turned and walked away before he could see how embarrassed she felt. Inside, Katie felt completely humiliated. Not only had she been rejected, but now Dan knew she had feelings for him. That night, sitting alone in her room, Katie replayed the moment again and again. Prom was coming, and she was going alone. At her school, going to prom without a date was almost unthinkable. But then, Katie had a ridiculous idea. What if she asked someone else? Not another student. Someone impossible. Someone famous. Someone who would obviously never say yes. Her celebrity crush, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. The idea made her laugh. She grabbed a piece of cardboard and wrote a message on it. Then she recorded a short video and posted it online. "Hi, Dwayne," she said into the camera with a shy smile. "My name is Katie. I'm a senior in Minnesota, and I want to ask you to my prom." She explained how she loved all his movies, how she even dressed up like him for Halloween. Then she finished with one final question. "So, Rock, will you go to prom with me?" Katie posted the video as a joke. She expected a few friends to see it. Maybe a few laughs, maybe a few teasing comments. Then she went to bed. The next morning, she opened her phone and checked the video. At first, she smiled. Her friends had already started commenting. But then she noticed something strange. The view counter kept climbing. Hundreds. Then thousands. The video was spreading. Fast. Katie stared at the screen in disbelief. Her silly joke had gone viral. And for the first time, a crazy thought crossed her mind. What if The Rock actually saw it? The next day at school, Katie tried to act normal, but it wasn't easy. Her phone kept buzzing nonstop with notifications. Messages, comments, and shares kept pouring in. The video was spreading far beyond her group of friends. Still, she didn't expect anything serious to come from it. It was just a joke. Later that morning, Katie sat quietly in her classroom waiting for the teacher to arrive. Around her, students chatted and laughed as they usually did. Then the morning announcements came on over the loudspeaker. Nothing unusual. Every day the principal shared school updates this way. But today, something was different. The principal's voice sounded unusually excited. "Good morning, everyone," he said. "Today we have a very special guest who wants to say a few words to one of our students." The classroom went silent. Katie barely paid attention at first. Then a deep, familiar voice suddenly filled the speaker. "Hey guys, this is Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson." For a split second, no one moved. Then the entire school erupted into chaos.